Hi, welcome to Driving TV and I hope you are well. In this video, I'd like to talk to you about moving off in an angle. In the test, the examiner probably will ask you to stop somewhere safe on the left, behind a car, close to it, and then move off. Okay? And the reason examiner is asking you to do that is to check if you could move off from a closed position from the car in front or in a tight position. Do you know what kind of control you need for you to move off from that position when you are parked up very close to a car in front? So then, for you to move off, you need to ask the question, when you stop on the left, for you to move out, is the road flat, is it uphill, or is it downhill? Because it will depend on how you move off according to the road, the way the road is laid out. If it's flat, it will be normal clutch control. If it's uphill, it will be uphill clutch control, and if it's downhill, it will be downhill control. Because there are three types of moving off. One is flat, one is uphill, and one is downhill. Do you understand how to move the car in an angle in those situations? Can you move the car out from a position when you are parked up from the car in front very close? And this is the reason why you are being tested in the test, so that when you pass, after you pass, when you stop on the left and there is a car in front very close to you, can you move out? So say you're driving along in this road and the examiner asks you to stop somewhere safe on the left behind this car, close to it, and leaving enough space for you to move out. Okay, so you're driving, you look at the mirror, you put the signal on if needed, and you stop nicely behind this car around here. Okay, that's where you stop. Remember, you need to stop leaving enough space for you to move out. So when you stop, don't go too close. So then when you're asked to move out, you have to reverse. Make sure you have enough space and don't stop too far from the parked car, because if you do, the examiner will ask you to move a little bit more forward so you are close enough. So when you do go a little bit forward or when you stop, make sure you have enough space for you to move out. Okay, if you go too close and the examiner asks you to move out, then you will be in trouble because there is no enough space. So make sure you have enough space. Now then, moving out. Now from this position, what we call is moving off in an angle. Why? Because it's not straightforward moving off. You have to do a lot of work to go around that car to move off. It's like in an angle moving off. This is why this is known as moving off in an angle. Now why you are tested this one in the test? And the reason is because the examiner want to see your clutch control in this position or your brake control. Now let me explain. When you stop, before you move out, your moving off will depend on the road layout. Okay? If the road is a flat road, you will do normal clutch control to move out. If it's on a uphill, you will be doing the clutch control to move out as if you move off on an uphill. And if it's on a slope or maybe on a slightly downhill, then it will be brake control for you to move out. And this is why the examiner want to see, do you understand how to move off from that tight position? So when you need to move off from this kind of position, make sure you ask the question, am I in a flat road? Am I in an uphill? Or am I in a downhill? Because flat road, you could take the handbrake off a bit early and move out with a clutch. If it's uphill, then as you know, you can't take the handbrake off. You'll have to do the clutch control. So you bring the clutch to the biting point, take the handbrake off slowly, and then move off with the clutch. If it's downhill, then you do the brake control. You put the brake on, take the handbrake off, and release the brake. And as the car goes, you bring the clutch up slowly and you go. So always ask the question when you are in this situation in the test, what kind of road is this that I am parked up on? Is it flat, uphill, or is it downhill? Always remember there are three types of moving off. One of them you move off on a flat road, one of them you move off on an uphill, and one of them you move off on a downhill. And make sure you understand and you learn all those three moving off, because whenever you parked up, for you to move the car off, you need to understand the type of road you are parked in so that you could use that control for you to move off from that position. Okay? So just say you are driving in this road and the examiner asks you to stop somewhere safe on the left behind that red car. So you look at the mirrors, you put the signal on, and you go and you stop nicely on the left behind the red car. So that's the red car, as you can see. As you come in, just make sure that you stop nicely and reasonably close to the red car or behind that red car, and you are not too far or too close. Okay, make sure your distance from the car in front is enough for you to move out. Many learners, when they stop, they go too close and then it is difficult for them to move out. So make sure you have enough space for you to move off. Now you get the car ready, and this is where the challenge is, because before you move off, make sure you ask the question, am I parked up on a road where it is a level road which is flat, or is it uphill, or is it downhill? Because according to that you will have to do the control for you to move out. Okay, so now imagine you are now in a test and you are parked up behind the red car and the examiner asks you to move off. Okay, now think of how you're going to move off. Now let me give you a tip in this situation. Most of the road are designed for the drainage, which means that top of the road is always higher than the side because of the drainage, so the water goes to the drain. And because of that, when you are moving off on those situations in an angle, you always think of the clutch control. It's as if you are moving off on a hill. Okay, little hill but still a hill, so you do the clutch control. Okay, because when you turn towards right to move out, the car will be like in a small hill. So make sure you bring the clutch to the biting point and you hold it to the biting and you move the car with the clutch all the way. Because of the drainage, like I said, the sides are lower than the middle of the road. So as you move out, you will need the clutch control mostly. So think of the clutch control as you are moving off in those situations. Okay? Okay, so now you are parked up on the left and the examiner said for you to move off. Okay? And like I said, roads are designed in a way so the water goes on the side. So the middle of the road is higher than the side. Why? So the water just goes to the drain. And because of that reason, when you're moving off in an angle, when you steer towards right, the car becomes as if you are moving off on a hill. And this is where the clutch control comes in. Many learners, they do that and the clutch control is too bad. Either they bring you up too quickly or it's not to the biting. So either they're going too fast and they're steering too quickly, or the car is coming and hitting the pavement because the clutch control is bad. So the preparation is put the clutch down to the floor, go to first gear, go around, including your blind spot, signal if needed. Okay, put the signal on if you need it, put the signal on, and then you bring the clutch to the biting. Make sure to the biting, bring up to the biting. Okay, now I could feel the bite. Okay, make sure it's the bite, not too much up, not too much down, right to the biting, so the car is about to move. Once you know the biting, you take the handbrake off, and take the handbrake off slower than normal. So then if you feel the car wants to go, fraction down, and it wants to go back, fraction up. Okay, so I'm taking the handbrake off slowly, 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 and I'm steering. So I steer. When you steer, make sure clutch is only to the biting. To the biting, don't bring it up. Many learners, what they do is they bring it up all the way, and they're either going too fast and they're working too harsh on the steering, or the clutch is too much down and the clutch is going back and hitting the pavement. To the biting, it's going too fast, what do? Fraction down. Okay, if it's too slow, fraction up. You control the clutch, don't let the clutch go all the way, keep looking. So you keep looking and you keep looking at the car in front, and you go slowly with the clutch. Don't let the clutch go. Don't let the clutch go. All the way. All the way. And then you move. And once you moved off fully, bring the clutch up all the way. Okay? And that's what you do. So as you steer to come out, make sure you do the clutch control. So it's the clutch control here as you're moving out. Keep the clutch on as you're going round. Get the wheel straight, and then on the car straight, and then bring the clutch up all the way. So before you move off, firstly make sure you know what kind of road you are in. Is it flat, up or down? Mostly it will be like as if you are moving off on a hill, like I said, because of the design of the road. as you steer, it will be like a hill because of the drainage. The side of the road is lower and the middle is higher, so do the clutch control. So most of the time it will be the clutch control. Make sure you understand how the clutch control works and do the clutch control all the way. Once you've gone all the way, car is straight, then bring the clutch up all the way to move off. Okay, for you to learn the clutch control, for you to move the car off on a hill, up and down, there are videos on the channel. I will leave the links on the description if you need to learn those, but make sure you know the clutch control, how to move the car on uphill, downhill, on a flat road. Mostly it will be like as if you are moving off on a hill, like I said, because of design of the road, because of the drainage. Okay, that's it for today, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give a thumbs up, and please do make a comment what you think of the video. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so don't miss any of my future videos, and hope to see you again on the next video. Bye for now.